How's everybody doing? Good week so far. If you're new to the AMA, we do this weekly, normally just on the Thursday around this time. Any questions or comments, you can just type it in the chat. I'll read out in the chat. Normally just start off with some updates from the project and then answer any questions and then sort of end every time with the AMA with some market outlook. Sometimes we invite community members to speak on the stage. So if you're dying to speak about something, feel free to raise your hand towards the end of the session. Yep, I think we are good to start. It's a pretty eventful week for us. As you know, we just announced our strategic round. So it's really been a long time making. We've been racing this round for the better part of this year. At the same time, we're pretty busy with product integrations, partnerships, and lots of things going on. If you've been in the community for the past few months, but finally we're able to close the round and looks to be pretty solid. We got about 8 billion raised, so this brought the total number to around 10 mil. We're led by Bitrise Capital. It's actually a pretty good partnership with our lead investor. As you know, recently we've also launched the Filecoin LVT liquid vesting token product. That is actually in conjunction with Bitrise on their mining side. They're quite resourceful in the institutional mining space. So there, with the Filecoin, there's lots of miners, especially like institutions that they hold these Filecoin nodes, and in a way, their positions in File tokens are locked for the proof of stake staking. With Filecoin is called a storage provider, and they are locked up to like 540 days. And there's like this demand for liquidity from the miners, because the 540 days basically a year and a half. It's pretty long. And with our product, we actually mint all of these sort of staked locked tokens into VFL, and these miners, they can do transactions with each other. From before, it's really you kind of have to just do it OTC. With that, there's better discovery, and it's fully decentralized. You do it on chain by trading the VFL token. So it's really a small step towards a big revolution in on-chain locked token trading. And when we look into this, there's actually quite a lot of addressable market for this type of assets in the Web3 or just blockchain space. There's lots of tokens that are locked, and it goes from the more traditional like VE token, voting is grew like VE token model that are locked for voting or for profit sharing, for revenue sharing, and also things like more general proof of stake tokens that are staked within the staking contract for the chain. But at the same time, there's it's further locked beyond the scope that the traditional LST liquid staking tokens can solve. That's where LVT comes around. We can build customized solutions just like the one with the VFL for the miners. We can build that for essentially any of the these POS chains to unlock their these staked and locked tokens liquidity. So it's actually quite I would say like quite a meaningful step forward for the space in general by launching this product. There's a couple more that we're talking, and some of them are like I would say like tier one layer one chains, like top in terms of if you find them on CMC, they're like top 50, top 100 chains native token, and they are locked within their staking contract for like different validators. And it's similar situation where when holders or like investors, foundations, when they lock the token, the economic is where you can select how long you want to have the token locked. And sometimes it's, like 365 days or even like 540 days with the Filecoin situation. And then within those days, they cannot actually trade those tokens. So this product, it's actually quite a nice solution for that. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we, in the coming weeks, we launch a couple more of these LBT products. With the Filecoin, we already have, I think, more than 13 million, close to 40 million File tokens staked and used to mint VFile. That's 40 million File token. I think it's about like 1.5 to $2, something like that. If it's $2, that's like almost like 30 million in TBL. And that's really great for the protocol because we take a fee whenever there's a sort of a claim. So it's going to boost the protocol's revenue. And just from like on-chain data, there's already a lot of trading of a VFL token. I think it's sort of like a solid PMF for this type of product. So that's great overall. I think it's great to really have a meaningful step forward for us as well. And then coming next on the LNT side, it's also quite great. We launched a relatively smaller product for a repo, but it's really popular. We launched the Liquid Node token for repo slash Anoma solver node on Base network. So that's quite a handful. There were 99% of all the nodes sold were pre-deposited into the LNT Vault pre-deposit. Now comes mainnet. I think right now about 50% of those nodes are staked with the mainnet LNT Vault. So that keep in mind that's the only way if you're a node holder, that's the only way to receive the repo token rewards, the vesting token rewards from repo team. So if you haven't done so, definitely like stake your repo node, solver node NFT to the mainnet version of the LNT Vault. That is on Base network. And we already done the first distribution of the repo vesting token. That is called a put option on the site on the DF page under LNT. So that's because put option is like an option to sell. So you have the option to sell your vesting token or for the actual token, and you also have the option not to sell it and then hold till maturity. So it's the same thing, but some people would like to like kind of redeem early. So they have this put option. But once you burn it and then receive the T token, you no longer have the VT. So that's option, I would say like option number one, how you wanted to play with the LNT. At the same time, you can also access the liquidity through the AMM where there's vRepo to repo trading. That has been a pretty, I think lots of the users are already pretty familiar with that because it's the same thing with the Aether checker node, the VATH. There's a ton of trading with the in AMM. With repo is the same. I'm actually just checking the site right now. There's already like 314 repo nodes deposited, so that's good. That's more than 60% of all the nodes. I think the price of vRepo to repo, let me just check. It's trading at about 35% face value. So that means if because with the LNT product, you get 100% of all your future repo minted day one through vRepo. So if you hold a standard node, it's at 2,500-ish. vRepo, if it's a premium node, it's 7,200. You get all of those up top, like up front. And then if you want to, so the beauty of it is you can sell all of that today at a discount to people against repo. And right now the price is actually 35% face value. So if you, let's say you have a premium node, 7,000 worth of 7,000 vRepo token, 35% of that, it's 2,000-ish. So like you can get 2,000-ish repo token today. That is if you just wanted to exit. And I think most of the repo holders are not selling. And we actually saw some buying of vRepo, which is really like a bullish sign because if you buy vRepo, you get 3 vRepo with 1 repo. So the 3x that is guaranteed to be redeemable by the end, 1-to-1. So I think that makes sense because Repo did a DEX launch on Virtuals, and the FDV, if I remember correctly, it's around 6 million. So it's definitely not reaching the sort of the potential of this project. So that's why not many people are selling. They also recently had a listing. I think it's on MEXC, and I think I wish to see more bigger exchanges listing, and I think that the team is definitely working pretty hard towards that. For us, we're just a third party, sort of the DeFi platform for you guys to be able to play around with your node, to not just have it as a passive assets, but also be able to have these ability to access liquidity through the AMM and also through the put option. Another project, of course, is the still I think is the biggest the node project, Aether. If not ZeroG, it's also pretty big. Aether Checker node is also trading pretty heavily. There's quite some VT buying, VATH buying. I think the price is actually bought up to like more than 40%. It's actually right now it's at 47%. Is close to half 50% of the face value to sell VATH, which is really I would say it's a great opportunity. This is not going to stay for long, just based on what we've seen, and this is because people are withdrawing the nodes from LNT Vault to sell it on the OpenSea because there's a price decrease for like almost like a crash for ATH price. So our nodes are the LNT side. It's priced in ATH token itself. On OpenSea, it's priced in ETH. So whenever ATH drops against ETH, there's people wanting to withdraw the node and sell it on OpenSea, and vice versa. In fact, that's how we got up to like 500 nodes without much like incentives. It's because ATH had a pump back then when Aether announced the DAT, the digital asset treasury on Nasdaq. ATH price was like I think 3 times as much as today back then, and then people were just buying up nodes on the OpenSea and sell it here. So right now it's just vice versa. It's totally healthy. In fact, it only boosted the LP return. LP return is still hovering above 40% APY for the total duration, like 3 months since we've been live. Recently, the current APY is much higher than that, just because there's so much trading. So for whoever's LPing in the VATH to ATH, congrats to you. It's still a really active vault. Not to mention, it's also the biggest node market. There's still 490 nodes deposited into the vault. So we hold quite a bit of ATH nodes plus tokens and everything else. Let's see. Another thing I want to update is ZeroG alignment nodes. This is fully functional right now. We're just kind of waiting for the final testing with the ZeroG team to have the go ahead to launch it. It is quite an interesting vault because with ZeroG they have their mainnet, but the nodes are still currently on Arbitrum. The liquidity it's on BNB chain, so we are pretty creative when launching this product. We have the LNT mint and issue side on Arbitrum, just as with the Aether checker node vault. At the same time, we have a liquidity pool on BNB chain. So basically, if you're node holder, once you mint the ZeroG, you have to bridge it to BNB chain for trading, basically. And what's even cooler is that when we receive the rewards, the DOG token is actually on the DOG mainnet for the rewards claim. So it's like a 3-chain collaboration for this product launch. So we'll write up something cool about how exactly this process work. But I think it's like one of those niche product that kind of proves you the composability side of crypto DeFi in general. Yeah, so luckily all 3 chains here we're talking about are EVM compatible, Arbitrum, BNB, and Zero G. And our VT token, the V0G, are I think it's layer 0 standard, omni-chain standard token. So it's quite smooth for bridging. And yeah, the whole thing is we tested out and it's pretty fast. The foundations from DOG side, there's also going to be liquidity injected for trading. We're just kind of waiting for everything to settle. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. I think hopefully we could launch it next week or so. We anticipate quite some node deposits just from this. And at the same time, really, I'd like to cover some of the upcoming things. Of course, we did a pretty big fundraise, but really, it's for us, it's long time making. We've been building for quite a while. And if you've been following the team, like we're really solid with our products. We launched on Berachain. We actually still have the product live on Berachain, called Brightvault, which is a structured product similar to LNT, but it's for yield token and principal token separations, also similar to Pendle. And then we went on to build LNT and also LVT. So there's quite some, I think by far like 4 or 5 chains that we've launched on. But the idea of having a liquid market for locked tokens, it's definitely not bounded by any chains. I think it's omni-chain product. It's going to be standardized, and there's lots of PMF. We haven't even touched upon things like the investor vesting. There's lots of what we call like VC tokens. There's generally like sort of like a negative sentiment regarding VC unlock. And LVT creates a separate market just for that, so that VCs, they have a market to trade their tokens before there's actual unlocks. And whoever buys the VT from the VCs are typically the more, I would say, like the more aligned holders for that ecosystem, because they're willing to bet on the project's future. Whereas if you're an investor kind of holding the vesting token, you also have fiduciary responsibility for your investors, your LPs. So there's really not much you can do other than selling. So this is kind of like a realignment of sort of incentives for the projects and the investors and also the community. Yeah, because with the VT, normally it's trading against T at a discount. So with this product, like anyone can have an opportunity to buy the tokens at a discount. Post TGE, this is also quite important. It doesn't for the LVT product, it's for post TGE tokens as opposed to like pre like ICO rounds or like pre TGE rounds. This is when the tokens actually have a CX price, where there's market makers, there's trading volumes, and then the VT price, which is the price of the future token, is priced upon that at a discount. So yeah, so that's, I think that there's just a lot more things we could do. Of course, with the funding, we're just going to continue to integrate with more product. So kind of summarize, we had a couple products launched on different chains. With the Filecoin, it really opens up a gate for us to do LVT unlock for POS chains, proof of staking chains. Because they basically right now, it's kind of hard to name a chain that's not POS. So and with any POS chain, there's tokens locked within the staking contract, sometimes up to 1.5 years, and that's where LVT product shines. Because if you're staking there, and you have the liquid staking token, the LST, But sometimes even with the LST, there's locking with it. Like you couldn't trade the LST. That's when we build a secondary market for it for VT to T trading through the LVT. Anyway, so that's pretty much in terms of updates. And then let me try to kind of catch up on some of the other stuff. Yeah, of course, it's right now it's kind of towards the end of the year. I think overall it's quite a productive year for us. Starting off the year, we participated in the OKX and Tong, which is the Telegram blockchain accelerator, and then that's been quite successful. Like we had Top, which is the TOP, the open platform behind Tong. They actually joined this round, which is great. And then after that, we did the Berachain launch, which was I would say is still a really good run. We were part of the Berachain RFA program. Berachain really bootstrapped our earlier community, and we had 2 vaults. Actually, I think 3 vaults on Berachain, getting the BGT emission and then split them into PTYT. And those vaults were been running like since day one. I think is one of the longest running products on Berachain, even after the hack. So we stayed with it, and then luckily we didn't get affected by the hack. We just of course we had to close the BX vault, but luckily the Kodiak one wasn't hacked, and it's still up and running. And then after that, going into the summer, we started to build LNT, the node token for Aether. Then Redpole launched the Node Cell. After that, we started working with DOG. And then towards the end of the year, we broadened up the scope to launch LVT to really it's an upgrade from LNT to not only just the Vested token in Node, but all the other tokens that are being vested, either investors or foundation, or just in general, like through the staking contracts. So we broadened the scope to launch LVT. Got the Filecoin deal with for the miners to launch. And right now we're kind of working towards a few more of these bigger launches. And then I think it might be meaningful for us to move forward with the token generation event. But of course, that's always a deliberate thought. And then, but at the same time, we're like really thinking towards that. I think things are definitely moving towards a good direction for us, for the community and Zoo Finance in general. So yeah, definitely pretty meaningful and also pretty interesting year. Because of course, like towards the end of the year, like that we had the October 11th or October 10th, depending on where you are, the crash, the biggest liquidation event in crypto history. And right now, luckily, I think the market seems to be recovering. With that, we could probably segue into a little bit of a market recap, market analysis, and then you guys, if you wanted to start commenting, feel free to type it in the chat. I know there's quite some of our community members like to discuss about markets or trading in general. Just be sure, be alert that these are like not financial advice. We even open up a Market Watch channel for the more professional or like more curious users to post their analysis, their trades even there. So just to be like more aligned, more close to the current events and side of things. Yeah, so there's lots of things happening in December, even though it's only like 3 weeks before the holiday season in the US. I think there's going to be the 25 basis point Fed rate cut, which is looking more and more like a reality now. Which were crazy to think that a couple of weeks ago, Polymarket actually priced the risk cut at below 30%. I don't know what has changed. Just so so it just kind of speaks to how sentiments tend to shift based on like news cycle. A couple of weeks ago, like when Bitcoin dropped from 100K to like 80 something, the whole Discord and then Twitter space were um, like totally bearish. Like that's the end. It's time for the winter. And just like in a week or so, things started to change. All these good news that were previously present as well become relevant. Things like in the US, like the market the structure act and the clarity act as well. Those pro crypto legislations become relevant again. The view from the view and actions from institutions become relevant. So yeah, so there's definitely a ton of thought in the space. If you're a user or just like a holder in general in the space long enough, you probably like been through this quite a bit. But each time is always going to be the same. There's lots of sort of debating view between different groups of people, which I think in general is great because that's typically if everyone's if like 100% of the people are believing in one direction, that's the crazy part. It might be that in that case it might actually be like everyone's wrong. So it's always nice. It's or maybe it's time to actually make money when there were the strongest of the difference in views, and that seems to be the case for now. There are people who strongly believe in the 4 year cycle. It's all going to be over. Wait for like 3 years later type of people, and then there's also the micro. There's people long term, long like prolonged bull run. There's never a 4 year cycle. It's all coincidence. A group of people that are more like data driven, I would say. So definitely very interesting time to be in the space. Our side, we specializes our DeFi, like our whole teams are from TradFi or DeFi nerds that's been building for quite a while, even before DeFi summer, been in the Ethereum ecosystem. So yeah, we've been following like all the major trends, and then we keep innovating on the DeFi stuff. We build like different things like at our core, it's a structured products. We're really good with structuring sort of financial products and make them work on chain, and that applies to Brightvault, which is a yield separation, yield stripping, built specifically for like different characteristics, which for POL, Baratin, or other stuff. And then also now for vesting token, we studied the vesting contract, and then we find the ways that make sense to economically to split them into vesting token. And at the same time, like we had with the DeFi sort of expertise to find the best way to build AMM. So we built that actually with a custom price curve Uniswap v4 to minimize the permanent loss for the LPs for VT2T trading. So that's what we're good for. Like we're also like constantly looking for new things to build. So basically, I guess to summarize, with more funding, it's always great. And I know it's not easy in the space, but for us, it's just kind of solidify that the work that we've been done is meaningful. And then I guess for community going forward, we are pretty keen on finding the best time to go towards the TGE. And if you're new to the community, definitely like stay alert. We're pretty active. Like every week we do AMAs like this to try to be on the same page with everyone. And when the time comes, I think we'll definitely like find a great good enough, like the best we could do go to market plan. Yeah, and therefore to build the project forward, bring the project forward. Anyways, that's pretty much all that I have to say. We're pretty much right on the 30 minutes mark. Yeah, how's everybody doing so far? I think basically with the market, it's turning bullish a little bit. So yeah, I guess the sentiments does change quite a bit. We do have some community members that are more on the bearish side. So um, I hope like people are not like shorting too much. Definitely like the use of leverage is it's a double-edged sword. Crypto wine says it's great to hear that. I think you are one of the newer community members. I think I saw you on the general chat. Yeah, I mean we had some hardcore DeFi users in the Discord back then when we launched the Aether product. There are users which I think are quite smart. They figure out ways to arbitrage between OpenSea and our LNT platform. And then yeah, so yeah, CryptoWine's very active in the community. That's nice. We do hold events like games, which are, I think, many discords are popular in many of the crypto discords, like poker games, sometimes even karaoke. Um, and we're trying to do something, I guess, more original. Having the Market Watch channel is one. Maybe you could do some type of prediction games. We're still thinking about that. Basically to just try to keep everybody engaged beyond our products and stuff. Would do Galaxy later today and look forward to what's to come. Yeah, so thanks for mentioning that. We do still have the Aether Korea Galaxy event for LNT checker notes. That is for Korean communities because that's sort of the theme, but it's really open up to everyone. So it's there's two things you can do. Either if you're a node holder, chances are you probably already know about this product because it's the most traded node market. And if you're a node holder, you can deposit the nodes, and there's a small price to match with each node deposit. And then after that, you can either sell the VT or LP the VT for the returns, or you can just do nothing. It's really up to you. And then, of course, there's no lockup. You can also withdraw the notes anytime. But there is a fee for the mint to cover the node operational cost. So it may not be that smart to withdraw right away. And so that's one thing. The second thing is you can just, if you don't have to hold the node, you can just LP. With that, you need ATH token and also VATH token, which you can purchase from our swap, the VT to T swap that I've been sort of talking about. And then you add LPs there. So that's really easy. You don't have to do huge amounts. We don't have like a minimum deposit sort of gate. You could leave, or perhaps we do though. Probably have to check. I think is it $10? I'd have to check. You guys can probably check on the page for specifics. But typically, I think last time we actually had a $10. But anyway, so you would just deposit that the amount in ATH token, and then buy the VATH, buy a portion of that, and then add LP to share part of the prize pool. Yeah, so from time to time, these type of campaigns are like very, very popular to less popular. Really depends, not really just for us, but also for the partner projects. With this one is Aether. Sometimes there's more volumes from Aether, sometimes less. I think right now it's actually not that much. I think just mostly because the ATH price action is not that hot lately. When we launched the product, ATH were at 1.5 billion FDV. Today, when I check, is 600 million. So just it's a pretty volatile market. But if you like Aether, or if you are a device holder, node holder, you might find this price to be quite attractive. For us, we just build this product so that you have more tools to play around with your ATH yield, with ATH returns. Anyway, so I think some other stuff we might do is towards Christmas season or Hanukkah season, depending on your religion. There is going to be some campaigns that we wanted to host with some partners. It's more like engagement campaigns where everyone can do and then earn some type of prizes to get everybody engaged. Because it is towards the end of the year. Yeah, so that could be we might update on that at some point. But really, for the next few weeks, the theme, the focus for us is to ship more products. We already shipped, I think, four mainnet products on like 3 different chains, 4 different chains even. And then we wanted to have a few more, maybe by the end of the year. Yeah. So also the Loki, our TBL, I think right now is about 30 million. I think we haven't updated that on like DeFi Alarm or whatnot, all these platforms, but we'll probably do that soon. But yeah, that's cool. Definitely starting to accumulate some treasury as well. So things are moving in the right direction in general. Cool. I mean, if there's not anything else, I think I'm probably gonna end the AMA here. We'll every week we do this and then we post a recap the next day. So yeah, thank you guys for coming, and it's hope for more good news in the future. Yeah, see you guys. Bye.